Energy drinks, they're meant to give you a boost. They're incredibly popular, but how did one man's energy drink habit give him acute hepatitis? Well, a recent study was published in British medical journal Case Reports. Apparently this gentleman went to the ER, he had symptoms of nausea, vomiting, had some abdominal pain. He just thought it was the flu, but when his urine turned dark, his skin then turned yellow. That's when he sought help. And interestingly, they went through everything, they figured out that he had acute hepatitis, and they went through their history and brilliantly figured out that the culprit in this case was his habit with energy drinks.
Yeah, so apparently this guy was drinking 4 to 5 energy drinks per day for 3 weeks. And the culprit was actually niacin, which is B3. It's a B vitamin. And apparently each energy drink has 2 times the amount you should be taking on a day-to-day basis. And when they did all this workup and they found that his liver was really dinged by this, they also found out he had underlying hepatitis C, which is a viral infection. So they think that when he already had this underlying problem with his liver and then he loaded all this niacin in from the energy drink, it just put his liver into failure.
It caused an acute change and got sick. But, you know, good take home for everybody, the symptoms that you described of what you see if you come down with hepatitis, liver dysfunction. You may see changes in your urine, your skin.
Yeah, that yellowing is jaundice.
So-called jaundice.
I have to give credit to the docs in this scenario. We actually have one of the doctors on the case joining us via Polycom. Please welcome from the University of Florida Health, Dr. Miriam Satari. And this took some investigative work to come to this conclusion. I don't know that as a doc, I would have been thinking, well, this has to be vitamin B3, but how did you come to this conclusion?
Initially, when we saw him, we started out by testing for and ruling out the more common causes of acute hepatitis. And then we were puzzled. What really helped us was a previous report reported in medical literature of a very similar type of liver problem in the setting of excess intake of energy drinks. We went back to our patient and obtained more history, found that, as you guys mentioned, that he had been drinking 4 to 5 energy drinks for almost 21 days prior to presentation. So that piece of history, along with the previous literature, was what helped us put 2 and 2 together.
So Dr. Starr, I just wanted to ask you, now that you've spent obviously a lot of time after dealing with this particular patient, is there takeaway for people at home in terms of safe energy drink consumption? Because again, it's not like people are showing up in ERs across the country with this, but it is a good reminder that in excess they can cause some harm.
I think that what I would recommend based on this case and previous reports in the literature would be to avoid excessive intake of energy drinks. And that would be especially true if you have underlying medical conditions. So for example, if you have liver problems or heart problems, I would be more cautious.
Well, congrats. Yes. I want to say congrats on discovering
Way to go, Doc.
this, but also for your diligent care of this patient. Thanks so much for being with us.
As we always say, it's history, 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 right? You know, getting down to getting all the information, so important in all of our specialties, in this case, led to the diagnosis.
Well, and it gets back to, I think we've learned so much in our society that for the most part, you do things in moderation, you're going to be okay. The minute you hit that point of excess is when you have to start to worry. And I empathize, and I will say this, it's because it's not as though I've never had energy drinks, and they give me energy.